I'm Captain Monte with Texas Fishing Tips, and this is your weekly fishing report. This week we've still been coming over here to Fina Docks and working these pylons and these rock piles through here. We've been catching good numbers of sheephead. The bigger ones are on their way. We've been catching them between 15 and 18 inches. A lot of shorts, but there's some good sheephead through here. Been catching a few slot reds. Also, just using live shrimp, using a number 2 or number 3 kell hook with a 16th ounce weight right on top of the hook, and that's been catching our fish pretty good. Out here in the front, there's still a few bull reds. There's been slot reds. There's been sheephead through here. All the way up against these rocks has been the ticket. If you're looking for the big bulls, they're out here in this 25 foot of water, using a 3 ounce kell hook and a 3 ounce weight has been the ticket. Cut mullet, cut menhaden, even the bigger live shrimp has been working real well. We've also been catching some bull reds over here on the point, right here by this green marker. About 15-20 foot of water, using a 3 ounce weight with cut bait, and there've been pretty good bull reds all through here. Over here next to the Channel View Pier and the A&M University Pier, there have been slot reds, there have been sheephead, there has been black drum. So we've been doing pretty good just bouncing in this little area around Port Aransas. When the weather's right and the tides are down and the seas are down, we've been coming out here to the end of the jetties. Both sides been holding sheephead, black drum, and redfish. On this south side, working in about 15-20 foot of water. Live shrimp has been the ticket. On the north end, I've been coming on the back side and working this back of these rocks real slow. We've been catching good slot reds through here. We've been catching sheephead. We've been catching speckled trout. All the trout we've been catching have been between 17 and 21 inches. So good fish all around Port Aransas right now. Even back on the inside of these rocks and just bouncing back down. Been catching slot reds. We've been catching black drum. Been catching sheephead. Same technique. I've been using a little weight if I'm throwing it right up on top of the rocks. Use a 16th ounce weight. Live shrimp has been the ticket. So all of this area around Port Aransas has been holding good fish. With this weather we have coming in, good place to ambush some fish is come in into Dagger and start working this edge all up in here on these sand pockets. Live mullet has been catching redfish, been catching a few trout through here, but mainly redfish. If you got live shrimp, we've been stumbling on black drum through the potholes, so out here in the middle. So all of this area around Dagger, around these Spoil Bank Islands, have been holding black drum and redfish. There's been good speckled trout. I've been using just a popping cork with DOA shrimp. White with green chartreuse tails been working for us. And just getting on these good drifts here in Redfish Bay. Been good trout through here. You might have to weed through some small ones, but the bigger ones are showing up, and we've been catching pretty good numbers. So all of this area in Redfish Bay, and then, as the day and the sun comes up, then I get back on these islands and start working all these islands slow with either live shrimp on a popping cork or live mullet or even cut mullet's been working. So all this area around Ransom and Dagger has still been holding good fish. Corpus Bay has still been holding good fish. When the seas are right out here, when it's nice and calm, 5-10 mile an hour, been coming out here to these platforms. Right now we've been still catching speckled trout out here. We've been catching oversized reds. We've been catching a few black drum. The sheephead are starting to show up. So when I come out here to Corpus Bay, I'm going live shrimp, and I'm pretty much freelining everything. Number 3 kell hook has been the ticket. And if you can get around these platforms and figure out these rock piles that extend off of these platforms a good little ways, I've just been getting my depth finder and fish finder on and going around there with my trolling motor And when I see the bulk of the fish, then I'll anchor up. And there's been good fish out here when you're able to get out to Corpus Bay. Just pick your days, because when it gets rough out here, it does get pretty choppy. So be careful. Out here in front of the Lexington and the L-head and up against these rocks, there have been sheephead over here. There have been slot reds. There's been black drum. There's been speckled trout through here. I work these entrances that come into this marina, and it seems like when I work these points, they've been the best producing parts of these rock piles. So just take your time, pick your days, and work it slow is the main thing, especially now that it's gotten colder. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, and if you're on the water, be safe and be courteous. Thanks for watching. This is Capt Monte.